Well, welcome. This is Alpha Sigma Tau's club overview with Girls Who Code. We are excited that you are showing interest in starting a Girls Who Code club in your own community, and Alpha Sigma Tau is excited to have this national service partnership with Girls Who Code as part of our Women's Wellness Initiative. So we are going to hand it over to Hannah, and if you have any questions after watching this webinar, we do encourage you to reach out to Alpha Sigma Tau or directly to a Girls Who Code contact. Any information to begin the next steps of your club process. So thanks again, and Anna, we look forward to listening to what you have.
Thank you so much, Emily. We are really excited as well to partner with you. Like she said, I'm Hannah Simon Goldman. I am one of the regional partnership coordinators with Girls Who Code. There are various regional staff who you might work with across the country, but I am currently working with our partnership. And I'm really, really excited to tell you more about our program and how you can get involved. I'm going to start off with a brief introduction about Girls Who Code, tell you a little bit more about who we are as an organization, how our mission aligns with yours, and what we are doing to address the national problem that we're seeing. Then I'll jump into what our clubs look like, what you would actually be doing. So talk about our two different program levels, 6th through 12th grade and 3rd through 5th grade, and a little bit about our impact as well, the difference that the clubs are making. And then I'll spend a little bit of time talking about how to get a club started through our partnership. And I'll get any questions that Emily has along the way. So to begin, a little bit about Girls Who Code. The tech industry is booming, as most people who are interacting with media or their cell phones or really most industries will be able to affirm. And that's a great thing. What's not great is that only about 19% of students getting degrees in computer science are women, and that drops all the way down to 2% when we look at women of color. So we can't leave behind half of the population. We can't leave women and girls out of these opportunities. So as a country, we need to take action. So that's where Girls Who Code comes in. Our mission here is to promote gender parity in computing and technology. We want to inspire, educate, and equip girls with the skills they need to really thrive and pursue these opportunities. We imagine a world where our computer science classrooms are just as diverse as the communities and what our schools look like as well. A world where women in computing have a sisterhood to lean on, a supportive community, and a world where that sisterhood can create real change in communities everywhere. So where they'll be taking computer science and using it to do good and do things that matter to them. The way that we do that here at Girls Who Code is through our clubs program. So our clubs are a free and flexible program working with grades 3 through 12. We start down at grade 3 because research has shown that in elementary school, girls' interest in computer science is right on par with the boys. Pretty equal levels of interest and engagement. But then once we hit middle elementary school, that starts to really decline for girls, while for boys, it increases. So that by the time they graduate high school, we have this giant gender gap in technology that's really troubling. So what we are hoping to do with our clubs is encourage the girls to keep with it, get them excited about it in elementary school so that by the time they get to middle and high school, they feel confident enough to keep going in computer science. Our clubs are led by the facilitators. I'll talk more later about how we support our facilitators because you will be the heart and soul in the club. So we really want to make sure that you have everything you need. But in the meantime, I'm going to jump in and talk a little bit about the two different levels like I mentioned. So I'll start with our older clubs for middle and high school, 6th through 12th grade. Our clubs are free. We do put that in capital letters because they'll always be free for you to start and for you to run. We want to make sure you know that. Girls Who Code clubs are about coding, but they're really about so much more too. So they feature a Girls Who Code project. So that's where the girls will say, okay, you know, I'm learning how to build a website or an animation or a game or an app. So what is an issue that we really care about? What's a need in our community? And how can we build something to address that? So they work together throughout the run of the club to build that project. They'll be creating that project and learning how to code on our online platform, Girls Who Code HQ, which has all the curricula, the lesson guides, the activity sets. Logistics-wise, most of our clubs for this age range meet for 1 or 2 hours once a week for 10 to 15 plus meetings. We say about 1 to 2 hours for maybe this many meetings because again, flexibility is going to be really important for us. We know that you're going to know the local landscape better than we do. You're going to know what the girls in your area are able to do, are willing to do. And so however you can make it work to launch your club basically is going to work for us. So if you want to meet a couple times a week for a shorter amount of time, we're going to let you figure that out. Our lesson guides are all customizable, so you'll be able to go in and adjust it to meet the needs of you and the kids in your club. A little bit more about our projects here. These are two examples. So Water Well is a project that was created by girls who are really passionate about water conservation. So they created a website where you can go on and track your water usage throughout the week or the month, and then it analyzes the data for you. And if it's maybe not where it's recommended that it be, they'll give you strategies to then reduce your water usage, which I thought was great. Pillar was an app proposed by some of our high school girls. They wanted to destigmatize getting help for mental health issues and being able to talk about mental health issues. So they thought they would create this app where you would be able to connect and get access to resources. So I thought that was really great. We had some girls who were part of a Native American tribe who made a language translator app. We had some middle school students who partnered with their local history museum, and so they created an interactive app for the Hall of Animals at their museum to help engage people who attended the museum and help draw people to the museum. So I thought that was really creative and a really great way to connect with their community as well. So really, sky's the limit. Those are just a couple of examples of the projects, and we do have a project gallery on our website where you can go on and search by grade level or geographically and see what different projects girls have already been doing. They really love to post their projects on there and show off a little bit. That's sort of 6th through 12th grade clubs in a nutshell. I'm going to move on to 3rd through 5th grade clubs now. Any questions, Emily, that I can get at this point?
No, I think this is great. I just want to sort of recap. So as Hannah said, as a facilitator, you will be the heart, soul, and backbone of clubs and the Girls Who Code community in your own area. So we certainly encourage you to take on this project. And then again, it is always free for you to host and facilitate a club in your community. Girls Who Code, make sure you have the resources available to you to have a really successful and free experience for yourself and your participants. And there's a lot of flexibility and customizable lesson plans. So if starting a club in your community is where you'd like to go, Girls Who Code provides all of that information for you to provide a flexible schedule that works best with you and your participants' abilities, and then the customizable lesson plans so that you can adapt throughout the term of your club.
Absolutely, definitely. So yeah, I will talk about the younger age clubs, and then I'll talk more about the logistics of getting things started, where all the resources are, and all of those materials as well. With our 3rd through 5th grade clubs, still free, as you will notice. So there are a few differences between the older level clubs and the younger clubs. The first is just logistical. They might meet for a half hour to an hour for 5 to 10 meetings, just because the attention span of the girls is to be a little bit less. And so that's going to be a better time frame, or at least we suggest that's a better time frame. The other big difference is that while our 6th through 12th grade clubs use our online platform for the curriculum, the 3rd through 5th grade clubs use the material from our book, which you can see here on the left, Girls Who Code, Learn to Code and Change the World. So the facilitator will have access to all of that material on HQ on the online platform, and the girls will be able to use that. There's also optional computer programming work on actual computers that they can do, but these clubs can be run entirely unplugged or offline if it's going to be an issue to get computer lab space, or if the Wi-Fi goes down or something like that. We have extra flexibility there that you can really do all those activities offline as well. That's sort of 3rd through 5th grade in a nutshell. Similar, you also are going to be talking about sisterhood and building confidence and communication and collaboration skills. You're also going to be thinking about doing things that matter to them. In addition to learning how to code, you're going to have that sisterhood piece as well. Impact-wise, we have served over 185,000 girls and young women to date. About half of those are from historically further underrepresented groups within women in tech. so particularly those from Black, Latinx, or low-income households. We have more and more of our students now who have graduated high school, and we are really excited to follow them on their journeys and see where they end up. We do know currently that our alumni are majoring in computer science and related fields at a rate 15 times the national average. And when you look at the further underrepresented groups, it goes to 16 times the national average. So we are really proud of all the work that these young women continue to do even after they graduate from high school and leave their Girls Who Code clubs. So I'm going to transition now to talk about how to get your own club started, if this sounds like a good fit for you. There are 3 things that are needed to get a club started. The first thing is space in a nonprofit location. This could be a college campus. It could also be a local school, elementary school, middle school, high school, a library, a local community center, YMCA, Boys and Girls Club. Any nonprofit space can host a club. So if you want to bring students onto a campus, if you want to go to where the students are, as long as it's a nonprofit space, you'll be good to go. You will need someone who is employed by the nonprofit to be what we call the decision maker. So basically to sign off and say, yep, they have permission to be here and use this space. But that should be pretty easy to organize if you're the one facilitating, for them to just approve your use of the space. The second thing you'll need is access to the curriculum. So for 6th through 12th grade classes, you need computers and internet connection so that the girls can access the online platform and get all the tutorials and activity sets. And for 3rd through 5th grade clubs, that means you're going to need access to our nonfiction book, which we are going to provide for the facilitators. So step 2 basically is going to work out if you're at a nonprofit that already has computers, and you'll be ready to go. That last thing you need is a facilitator. There are 2 very important things you need to be a facilitator. You need to be 18 years or older, and you need to be able to pass a background check. And that is it. You do not need to have experience in computer science. You can be a beginner and learn alongside the girls. I think it's actually really great when facilitators learn alongside the girls, because they get to model the behavior that, we're not going to be an expert right away, and we're going to make mistakes for sure. So what would you do if I made a mistake? Could you help me learn something? And really show them that making mistakes is just part of the process, and that it's okay for them to make mistakes and to keep trying and to ask for help. So I think it's wonderful when facilitators are beginners as well. So I wanted to spend some time talking about how we support our facilitators, because we want you to feel like you have everything you need. So the first thing is that we are going to have online training. So every facilitator is going to need to attend a webinar, sort of similar to this one, that will get you connected with the online platform, all the resources there, and help you make sure you have everything you need. The next thing that I wanted to mention is the Club Success Specialist. So this is a Girls Who Code staffer, so they'll be remote, but they will send you an email a week or 2 before your club is set to start, introducing themselves, and then basically letting you know that they're going to be your go-to person throughout the entire run of the club. So you'll be able to email, set up a phone call or a video chat with any questions you have, big or small, about using the online platform or about the curriculum. They are going to be there to help you out. So questions that come up, your Club Success Specialist will be able to answer. We also, on our online platform, offer resources like I mentioned. So the recruitment toolkit, which has flyers and posters and videos, because once you get on board, you need to attract participants to your club. So we want to help you do that. You also have teaching tips and tricks. You have different getting to know you activities. All sorts of things are available for you there on HQ. You can actually log on to HQ at any point, create a guest account or create an account to become a facilitator, and take a peek and see a little preview of all the resources that are available. The website is hq.girlswhocode.com, and we'll make that available for you. The other important support that we offer is the Clubs Fund. That is $300 a semester for clubs. In order to qualify for the Clubs Fund, all you have to do is enroll 3 students. So we set the bar pretty low because we want to make sure that everyone has access to the Clubs Fund. The Clubs Fund can be used for anything you might need for your club that we are not already providing. So that might be as simple as snacks, if it's an after-school club. It might be, going on a field trip or bringing in a speaker or getting some robot parts. If we are not providing it already, we want to make sure that you can have it. We've had clubs do all sorts of great things, everywhere from, getting a bus to go on a field trip to making their own Girls Who Code socks. Was one that I saw recently that I thought was great that some middle schoolers did. So we are here to support you on HQ and with the Club Success Specialist. So if you ever have any questions, we want to make sure that you know that we are here to help you get your club running and support you while your club is running. The other important thing to know as you get ready to start a club is that you are part of a partnership with the sorority. So there are some benefits. I am a Girls Who Code staffer who is working with Emily and with folks at the national level to make sure that we're helping with outreach and getting everyone the support that they need. You also will have access to the Community Partner Fund once we launch 5 or more clubs, which is great. And your club will get priority access to any engagement opportunities. So if Girls Who Code is bringing a speaker or hosting a field trip in a city near you, we will let you know first so that you and your girls can attend and can register before everyone else knows about it, which is pretty exciting. We want to make sure that you apply and that you connect your club to our partnership so that we can affiliate you properly and make sure that you get all the benefits that you need. So when you fill out the application, it is first of all on page 4 on the About Your Club page. It's going to ask you if you are affiliated with a partner. So there's going to be a box, and if you start typing in, ALPHA, it's going to come up and you will be able to select that and get affiliated with the partnership. After you submit the application, a couple of next steps then are going to go into play. The first thing is that you are going to get sent information about doing a background check. Since you're going to be working with kids, with minors, we want to make sure that it's a safe environment, and so we require you to be background checked. So you will get an email from a third party that we use for background checks, asking your permission to run the background check. So you will give permission, I believe you type in your full name and that sort of thing. And then on our end, we run the background check. It is paid for by us. All you have to do is give us permission, and then it gets the ball rolling. Once your background check goes through and you pass with flying colors, then you will officially get approved as well once the decision maker from the host site has signed a form saying, yep, they're good to go. You'll be approved, and then you'll get an email from our staff welcoming you in, giving you a club code to log on to the online platform and use all the resources and basically get started. So even if you don't want to start your club for another month or until the spring even, you can apply whenever you like and you'll be approved throughout the whole academic school year. So you'll be ready to go whenever it is that you want to get started. Right, so that is the big overview of our clubs program and how you can get a club started. A little bit more info. There is no minimum or maximum number of clubs in your club that you can have. You do need to enroll 3 students in order to qualify for grant funding, but there is not any sort of minimum or maximum in order to just launch your club. If you do have more than maybe 20, 25 students, we would recommend definitely getting some other facilitators to join you. Facilitator pairs tend to work really well, or you can also divide it up into 2 separate clubs. You would then maybe meet on a different day or meet in a different building with different facilitators, and you would be able to run 2 separate clubs. You would get grant funding for each of those clubs, so that can be a good choice if your group tends to get on the large side. The other thing we also get asked about a lot is whether it's really just for girls, because we are Girls Who Code. And so our answer is this, that these clubs are definitely about empowering girls to pursue computer science. It's going to be a girl-centric space. But with that being said, we are not going to go around from our end looking through who enrolled in clubs and saying that seems like that's not a girl and we're going to kick them out, right? You are welcome to register whoever you like of all genders for your club. We wouldn't want to see an all-boys Girls Who Code club, but if there is a boy or two who is interested in joining the club, they are welcome, and anyone, of course, who self-identifies as a girl is always welcome as well. So those are a couple of the main questions. I'll hand it back over to Emily. If you have any questions that I can answer or any more information I can give, that would be useful.
Awesome, yeah, this was incredibly helpful, Hannah. I just want to reiterate how easy it really is to start a Girls Who Code club in your community. Hannah has outlined some of the incredible resources that Girls Who Code offers, but really you need to identify a safe space in your community. Again, could be a library, a college campus space, a local community center, or a church basement where you could host a club, and then hopefully sort of identify about a minimum of 3 young women in your community that could benefit from a Girls Who Code club, so that you can qualify for that minimum funding of $300 that Hannah talked about, to sort of support your club needs like snacks and parts or any extracurricular sort of field trips you might do, and then you submit your application. Girls Who Code, again, is going to cover all of the expenses related to your background check, so there's no cost out of pocket for you to apply and start a club in your community. And once you go through that background check and you've identified that space in your community, you can go ahead and get started. Girls Who Code is going to send you that welcome email, and you'll have direct access to a contact, a Girls Who Code staffer, to support you throughout your club experience. Really just get you started and provide resources and feedback. So super simple if it's something that you're considering and you're excited about this partnership that Alpha Sigma Tau has established with Girls Who Code. We definitely encourage you to go ahead and take the next steps. Reach out, continue to get on the resources provided both on Alpha Sigma Tau's website and on Girls Who Code's website, and start submitting your application as soon as you feel ready. And again, reiterate what Hannah said about making sure you designate Alpha Sigma Tau on your club application. That partnership is going to provide you with some perks that she shared, and we want to make sure that Alpha Sigma Tau is aware that you have taken advantage of this national service partnership, so that we can promote on our end, and so that you're getting the resources that you are sort of privy to on Girls Who Code's side of things. So again, Hannah, thank you. I think you covered everything thoroughly, so I don't have any additional questions. Just wanted to share that little recap. And then I guess just kind of leave it to you to let us know on how to wrap this up and what a next call to action should be for someone. Let's say completed this webinar, what should they do next if they're feeling excited and ready to bring Girls Who Code to their community?
Definitely. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I'll mention quickly, you mentioned we do make it really easy to get started, and it's a pretty low time commitment. You're maybe going to have 1 to 2 hours a week for the actual club, and then maybe 1 to 2 hours of prep or cleanup time. So it's really just a few hours a week, but it can make such a big difference in the lives of these young girls. So we do try to make it as easy and accessible for you to do as possible while still making a really big impact. If you've watched the webinar and you're ready to get started, the next thing to do would be to fill out that club's application. So you would go to girlswhocode.com/clubsapply, and we'll make that link available for you. But girlswhocode.com/clubapply, and it will take you to our online platform where you will create an account and then go straight into the application. From there, like I said, it's an automated process that will get the ball rolling with the other steps, and we will be there to let you know all the next steps after that. Thank you so much for listening in, and thank you again to Emily and to everyone nationally. We're really excited about our partnership, and we look forward to helping you launch your clubs.
Thank you, Hannah, and we are excited and look forward to continuing to work with you. Thanks again.